Jason Whitlock isn't one to shy away from controversy, and his latest comments on Caitlin Clark have sparked a firestorm. Calling the WNBA sensation a woke idiot sent shockwaves through the sports world. But what led to this sharp critique? Is there more to Whitlock's words than just a heated take? Or is he simply taking aim at Clark's outspoken stance on social issues?
The LeBron James, Adam Silver version of the NBA is such a dumpster fire that the best player in women's basketball doesn't want to be associated with the league. That's right. Caitlin Clark, the WNBA superstar, the biggest star in sports.
Caitlin Clark just made one of the most unexpected decisions of her career, and the backlash has been relentless. The Indiana Fever rookie turned down an invitation to participate in the three-point contest at the NBA All-Star Weekend, a move that sent shockwaves through the basketball world. While some supported her decision, others unleashed harsh criticism. Once one of Clark's biggest defenders, the Blaze media analyst has now become one of her fiercest critics. And this time, he didn't hold back, going as far as calling her a woke idiot. But what led to this drastic shift in Whitlock's stance? Just months ago, he was singing Clark's praises, championing her as a game-changer for women's basketball. Now, his tone has completely changed. Is it genuine disappointment? A calculated media move? Or something deeper?
That I love that she's bringing to her sport, more people want to watch. More people want to tune in. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it fucked up. Caitlin Clark is the reason why a lot of great things is going to happen for the WNBA.
Jason Whitlock has never been one to hold back, and his latest remarks on Caitlin Clark prove it once again. In a recent editorial for his show Fearless, Whitlock unloaded on the Indiana Fever star, claiming, "A lot of people watch women's basketball, and it'll be interesting to see what happens this year now that Caitlin Clark has come out of the closet as a feminist and someone who vows to Black Lives Matter." The harsh critique marks yet another chapter in Whitlock's evolving stance on Clark. Once one of her biggest advocates, he has recently become one of her loudest detractors. However, in a surprising twist, even Whitlock had to concede that Clark made the right call in rejecting the NBA's invitation to the three-point contest at All-Star Weekend. Caitlin Clark's homecoming is set to be one of the most anticipated moments of the WNBA season. The Indiana Fever star is returning to Iowa, where she became a legend with the Hawkeyes, and fans can't wait to see her back in action. The excitement is through the roof as Clark continues to draw massive crowds wherever she plays. Meanwhile, Clark has also found herself at the center of controversy after making one of the most unexpected decisions of her career. She declined an invitation to participate in the three-point shooting contest at the NBA All-Star Weekend, a move that sparked heated debates across the sports world. Among her loudest critics, Jason Whitlock. The Blaze media analyst, once an outspoken supporter of Clark, launched a scathing attack on her, even going as far as calling her a woke idiot. His harsh words marked a stunning reversal in his stance on Clark, raising questions about his motivations and the true reason behind his outrage. As Clark gears up for her much-anticipated return to Iowa, the conversation surrounding her continues to evolve. From fan excitement to media scrutiny, her every move remains under the spotlight. Jason Whitlock's relationship with Caitlin Clark has been nothing short of a roller coaster ride. Just a few months ago, the Blaze media analyst was one of Clark's staunchest defenders, praising her for revolutionizing women's basketball and bringing much-needed attention to the game. However, in a dramatic turn of events, Whitlock has become one of Clark's most vocal critics, and his recent comments have only added fuel to the fire. In a recent editorial for his show Fearless, Whitlock didn't hold back, launching a blistering attack on Clark. He remarked, "A lot of people watch women's basketball, and it'll be interesting to see what happens this year, now that Caitlin Clark has come out of the closet as a feminist and someone who vows to Black Lives Matter." His words sent shockwaves through the sports world, sparking heated debates about Clark's personal beliefs and the ongoing intersection of politics and sports. What caused this dramatic shift in Whitlock's stance? Was it a moment of genuine disappointment? Or is there a deeper narrative at play here? One thing's for sure, the tension between Whitlock and Clark is far from over, and this evolving feud is only adding more layers to the story of one of basketball's brightest stars. Despite his sharp criticism of Caitlin Clark's personal beliefs and decision to reject an invitation to the NBA All-Star Weekend, Jason Whitlock ultimately conceded that Clark made the right call. Whitlock, known for his polarizing opinions, admitted that participating in the NBA's All-Star Weekend could have negatively impacted Clark's brand. He noted that the NBA, as it stands, is in a state of disarray, and getting involved with the event could have tied Clark's image to a league that is currently grappling with its own issues. In fact, Whitlock had predicted just last summer that the WNBA was on track to surpass the NBA in viewership, a bold statement that now seems to hold more weight in light of Clark's rising prominence. He described the NBA as a broken league and implied that Clark made a wise decision by steering clear of the disaster that has come to define the NBA's All-Star Weekend. Though Whitlock's harsh words about Clark's politics have continued to spark controversy, his acknowledgement of her strategic move demonstrates a recognition of her growing influence, both within the WNBA and beyond. As Clark continues to reshape the landscape of women's basketball, it's clear that even her most vocal critics can't ignore her impact. They want to support Black Lives Matter, but we don't question the competition in the WNBA. With this comment, Whitlock underlined that, despite his criticisms of the league's social activism, there's no denying the talent and competitiveness on display. It's a peculiar mix of praise and critique. On one hand, Whitlock recognizes the undeniable quality of the players and the competitive nature of the games. On the other, he's quick to highlight the league's outspoken social and political positions. In doing so, Whitlock once again draws a sharp line between his support for the WNBA's on-court product and his frustration with the league's off-court activism. The WNBA. In a bold statement, Whitlock emphasized the fierce competition in the WNBA, where they don't like each other, they compete hard against each other, and they have stars born in America, which is everything the NBA lacks. What Whitlock is saying is clear. The WNBA thrives on its homegrown talent and intense rivalries, something the NBA has lost sight of in its push for international stardom. While the NBA looks to broaden its global reach, Whitlock suggests that it's at the expense of what made the league great in the first place: high-stakes competition between American-born athletes. They, the NBA, created their own enemy. They created their Frankenstein. This isn't just a jab. It's a shot at how the NBA's decisions, focusing more on global players and markets, have opened the door for the WNBA to rise as a true contender. In Whitlock's eyes, the NBA has created a nemesis of its own making, with the WNBA stepping in as the league that embodies everything the NBA is missing: relentless competition, homegrown stars, and a fan base that's ready for the next big thing. Could the NBA's global ambitions be its own undoing? The rise of the WNBA may just be proving that. And it's unlikely that his opinion of the WNBA star will change anytime soon. His words have been sharp, particularly around Clark's personal beliefs and her decisions off the court. But here's the reality. As long as Clark continues to dominate on the basketball court with the same incredible talent that has defined her career, even Whitlock will have to recognize her undeniable impact. Clark's arrival in professional basketball wasn't just a milestone, it was a game changer. Her talent, leadership, and ability to perform under pressure have already reshaped the landscape of women's basketball. From her standout moments with the Indiana Fever to the attention she's garnered from fans and critics alike, Clark has quickly become one of the most exciting figures in the sport. No matter how much Whitlock may push back, the facts speak for themselves. Caitlin Clark is a force to be reckoned with, and her influence on the game is something that even the harshest critics will eventually have to acknowledge. Whether he likes it or not, she's rewriting the rules of what it means to be a star in basketball. Jason Whitlock's evolving stance on Caitlin Clark has left many puzzled. At one point, he was among her most vocal supporters, praising her game and even calling her box office, a term that signifies a player capable of drawing massive attention and bringing excitement to the game. He even went as far as to say she was saving women's basketball. But now, with Clark speaking out on social and political issues, Whitlock has shifted gears, branding her as part of the woke agenda and urging her to just play basketball. This dramatic change in tone raises an important question. Was Whitlock truly a fan of Clark's talent, Or was he simply using her as a symbol to make a larger point in his ongoing culture war? His previous praise for her skills seemed genuine, but now it's clear that her outspoken nature on certain issues is rubbing him the wrong way. What's fascinating here is the way Whitlock's critique of Clark isn't necessarily about her game on the court. It's about the broader cultural discussions she's choosing to engage in. This shift in perspective makes it seem like Clark's talent is no longer enough to keep Whitlock on her side if her views and activism don't align with his. In the end, it leaves us questioning. Was Whitlock ever truly supporting Clark for the right reasons? Or was he merely using her to make a point about the larger societal issues at play? Either way, Caitlin Clark's influence on and off the court is undeniable. And no matter where Whitlock stands, she's continuing to reshape the landscape of basketball. What's truly fascinating is that, as Clark continues to break barriers and speak up for what she believes in, it seems to threaten the very narratives that critics like Whitlock rely on. When an athlete like Clark uses her platform to bring attention to important causes, it challenges the status quo and forces people to confront uncomfortable truths. For some, that's a lot to handle. But here's the bottom line. Caitlin Clark is here to play basketball, inspire the next generation, and make history. Whether you agree with her views or not, one thing is crystal clear. She's elevating the game in ways that were once unimaginable. Her influence is undeniable, and her legacy is already being written in real time. If calling her a woke idiot is how Whitlock chooses to respond, maybe it's time he takes a step back and reevaluates who the true game changer is. Because Caitlin Clark is proving, day in and day out, that her place in history is already secure, and it has nothing to do with fitting into a narrow, controlled narrative. Did Caitlin Clark deserve the backlash? Or is Jason Whitlock just stirring the pot for attention? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of sports, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss out on more in-depth content like this. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.